My name's Valerie Hammond, and I'm the Children's Director of the Truth Program here in Paragould, Arkansas. One of my favorite stories is about a little boy that we had that was in our community right after we started the program. He had a house fire, and the mom and dad had been doing some drugs, and that's what caused the house fire. And so we came in on a Monday after having seen him on Friday, and I guess the fire happened on Saturday. And he was in his socks riding his bicycle. He came in very sick at his stomach, and I asked him why he was so sick at his stomach, and he said he was hungry. Hadn't been fed for the weekend, and told me what happened about the fire in the house. And I said, well, did you find someplace else to live? And one of the other people in the area gave him another place to live, but basically they didn't have anything, no shoes. He had the one outfit, and he was just really hungry. So we sat down and fed him. So immediately, he couldn't wait any longer. We fed him, and then one of our volunteers stepped up and said, listen, if you'll go pick him up some clothes, I'll give you some money. So I put him in the truck with me and was driving down the road, and we were discussing houses and apartments, and this little boy said, why do some people get to live in a big house and other people have to live in the old apartment? And I told him, I said, you know what, you have a choice. You really have a choice where you want to live. You can work hard in school and you can get your education in, and you can work hard when you get out of school, and you can have a house. And his face just went off like he had never thought of that ever in his life, or nobody had ever told him that story. And anyway, we went to get his shoes and to get clothes. The first thing he went to was a coat that he wanted, and he said, can I have gloves too? And sometimes my pants are too big, can I have a belt? So we did that after picking up shoes in the shoe store, which was fun in sock feet. But the salesperson was wonderful to us, and we got a nice pair of shoes. And I think that that's one of the most special stories, because that young man has turned out to be okay. He's got a different life now with a different set of parents that he lives with, and gets to live in that house with that backyard. So just to see God work in many ways, from the volunteers to the people who donate the money to help run the program, to show God's work in the community, is just a blessing every day. There's just something new that happens every day. We do art projects from time to time, or something that interests the kids, and painting is one of the things that they love to do. Every time I say I'm going to paint, there's usually a big group that shows up ready to paint. And so we're going to do like a graffiti wall. We're using the ends of cardboard boxes that I've cut off, and they're painting them any color they want to, whatever they want, but they're going to put another name for Christ out of the Bible on it. So we looked up a bunch of names for Christ. They're all picking a different one because we want our graffiti wall to, to look like a bunch of different names instead of all have the same one. But they're excited about doing our projects, and you know, when you can involve Christ in them, it makes them special. And we've, you know, over the years done many things that have, they've took them home and they've hung them on their walls. So somebody else is getting to see those art projects also with the name of God on it, and they remember where it came from and what they were doing, and it's kind of special to us to get to minister in that way. In the past, we've had a girls' night when we were, you know, we're a new organization, so we're starting anew, but we've had a girls' night. We've invited all the girls 11 and up to come, and we've done things like thinking about our future and our goals and what we want to do, what kind of person we want to marry, and talked about how God has that special person for us in our life, that we need to wait on that person to come along. And anyway, I want to continue that. I'm hoping that starting in January, that once a month we can meet and continue with 11-year-olds and up, because it seems like that's the age group that we need to target. If we don't already have them in the program, we really need to be working with them, because they're, you know, they're at that age where they're getting closer to dating. Even though 11 is very young these days, a lot older than it used to be. I remember playing with Barbies at 11, so I don't know any 11-year-olds that still play with Barbies right now. So we need to get a hold of them and let them know what Christ has for them, and how important it is to plan your future, to plan out what you think God wants you to do in the future with your life.